Have any of you ever gotten fired from a job, had a job application rejected? I have, and I know it sucks. But we're not the only ones. According to an article on February 4th of the Toronto Stars, 75 million kids aged between 16 and 24 are unemployed, and the figure is only growing. The reason why I chose this topic was because Spain, my hometown for the last 17 years, is the developed country that presents the highest youth unemployment rates. According to an article, The Telegraph, January 27, 50% of the youth is unemployed. That means that you have a 50-50 chance of getting a job once you're graduated or get out of high school. In this speech, I'm going to inform you more about how youth unemployment has affected many countries around the world, especially Spain. And I'll do this by giving you a worldwide point of view, narrowing it down how it's affected Spain, and finally how it's affected me. As I said before, not only Spain, but many countries around the world have been affected. According to an article, February 4th, Toronto Stars, some undeveloped countries in Arabia presented 90% youth unemployment, or that the European Union, to put its population back on track, would need $22 billion. That's a lot of money. But what shocked me most about this article was the story that 5 Morocco students, due to the lack of jobs, burned themselves, killed themselves. Going back to Spain, it's safe to say that it's practically impossible to find a job. Personally, I know 2 kids who graduated and applied for over 20 jobs and haven't even gotten one job interview. This has affected Spain's individual society a lot. According to the Telegraph, January 27th, an article talks about how we're facing a lost generation. The kids don't work, they don't study. If they do study, they can't get a job, so basically they're just there. They're not adding anything to the country. Another article of Toronto Stars, January 7th, talks about how youth is relying more on the family. They live with their parents. As an example, he uses a school teacher who nearly makes $2,600 a month and has to take care of her 27-year-old son and 23-year-old daughter. Fortunately for me, studying in the U.S., I have higher hopes in terms of finding a job once I graduate. Directly, I haven't been affected by it, but indirectly, yes, because my friends have. That doesn't make me happy. Therefore, I've been involved in different protests over these last years, being the biggest one made out of 350,000 participants. Going back to that stat, that 50% of the youth is unemployed, could you imagine going through 4 years of Worcester, doing a senior IS, junior IS, others done it, giving terrifying speeches in front of the classroom, knowing that you have the same probability of finding a job once you get out as winning a coin toss? Now you know more about youth unemployment and how it's affected different countries around the world. Getting fired is rough, I know. 75 million unemployed kids or teens is a lot, I know. But that idea that 5 Morocco students burnt themselves because they don't have any hope, they didn't have any hope because they didn't know what to do with their life, just shows how devastating and crucial this situation has become.